Grandma, where were you born?
In Bayshore, Long Island, New York. And then I moved to Freeport, Long Island. My father was very funny. He was named Howard Smith. And my mother was Julia Ann Smith, but her maiden name was Teddy. And she loved to sew and sing. She did all the things I can't do. That way, he was very, very good cook. I guess I can cook, but she was very good at a lot of things. And my father was very funny. He would make fun of all of us. But he was very serious, but he was a lot of fun too. I'm the oldest. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. My 2 brothers are much younger than I am, like 11 years younger than me and 8 years younger. So I was like pretty much out of the house when they were growing up. I'd babysit for them. And I made money babysitting, so I'd buy them toys and all, but they were much younger than I am. But my sister is 1 year younger, and we did everything together.
What was your favorite thing to do with her?
We would just sit and talk. We would always hold hands. People used to say we always held hands because we were so close together. But we loved to play with dolls. Ginger dolls and all of those. We didn't have a lot of money. My mother used to make all our clothes and everything. We had 1 jacket that was navy blue on the outside, and then it had like a plate on the inside, and we had to share it. So one day I would wear it, and then the next day my sister would wear it. We loved that jacket. We got a transistor radio, but my parents only had enough money for 1 radio, so my sister and I shared it. It was good that my sister and I got along so well. We did get 2 dolls, and we played dolls all the time. But we shared pretty much everything, my sister and I. We never fought. We never had a fight. Maybe one time over a boy, but other than that, nothing.
And you're still close today?
We're still very close. She's very caring, and I care for her.
Wow, what town was the house you grew up in? What was it like?
Well, I was in Freeport, Long Island, and it was an old house. It was over 100 years old. And my parents had to work very hard to do things in that house because it was very old. But, and they worked hard, they really did. They didn't have much money. And at one point, believe it or not, it had an outhouse. We didn't have a bathroom. And my father had to put in a bathroom in the house. So an outhouse was out in the, like in the backyard of our property. And boy, they worked hard, they really did. I went to Bayview Avenue for elementary school. It was a beautiful school. It's still very pretty. It's there still. And I can honestly say I didn't have a favorite teacher because back then teachers didn't really smile a lot. They were very serious, and you had to do what you were told or you got punished, a lot. Not like nowadays. Teachers enjoy being with the kids and fooling around somewhat, but not back then.
I have a follow-up question for you. Did you ever get in really big trouble?
No, that was never. I was really quiet, and my sister was quiet. We were both, we did what we were told. We didn't fool around like that. I actually got my personality when I started teaching because I didn't want to be those kind of teachers. I wanted to make the kids happy in school and want to come to school and learn. But back then they were very strict.
Where did you go to high school?
Well, I went to Freeport High School. That was a tough school. It was very tough. There were a lot of bullies there too. But if you just did what you were supposed to do and you didn't tease people or, you didn't have a bad time. I liked growing up, and I was nice to everybody, and they were nice to me because I didn't give any trouble. One time I got this girl was really mean to me, and somebody else said, don't you be mean to her because she's nice, because the one that was mean was pushing me in my locker and all that kind of stuff. They were kind of tough, but I liked growing up there, and I really think we learned to get along with all kinds of people, so it was fun. I liked it.
What clubs were you in, and what was your favorite club?
You're gonna really laugh. Does the word nerd mean anything?
Yeah.
I was in the library club, the Red Cross Club, and Future Teachers of America Club. That's what I did. And then I was in a sorority. But I didn't do sports or anything like you guys do. You do so much, and you have a lot of opportunities. Where back then, I was very serious, really serious, too serious actually.
Were there any other better teachers in high school?
I only had one, and it was funny, when I got my job teaching in Wayne, my superintendent said, "Tell me about your favorite teacher." She was so mean. She was very tall, but she liked me and she tried to make me do better. And she knew I could do better than what I was doing. And she was my Latin teacher, and I was afraid of her.
What was her name?
Miss Murphy. She got me to really think I could do the work and I could be smart. And we had a big test at the end of, I guess it was 10th grade, and I got the second highest grade on my Latin Regents. But it wouldn't have happened if she wasn't so hard on me.
Where did you go to college?
I went to two. I went to community college, which I recommend to people, and then I went to college upstate New York, and then I got my master's degree at Adelphi University on Long Island, and I liked it. I liked those colleges.
Were those 2-year colleges?
One was a 2-year, one was a 4-year, and one was for a master's degree. I took 2 years, but it was you got your master's in usually 1 year, but I was working. So I worked all day, and then I get in the car and go all the way to the college and get my master's degree.
Did you like college, and who were your friends?
I was in a sorority, so I had friends from my sorority. I can't say I really I loved going for my master's degree because by then I was a teacher. So I would go into the teaching, and I would teach all day and then go to the college at night. And the kids the other students wanted to hear me tell them about my class and everything. And at one point they asked me to teach at the college because the kids were always listening to me, and I loved teaching. But the other 2-year colleges, I didn't know anybody because I had to work at night, and I just didn't, I don't know, it just wasn't as much fun.
What was your master's in?
Education. When I was 6 years old, I wanted to be a teacher because I didn't like school, and I wanted to make children really like school and enjoy themselves, and I loved it. I loved every day of it, really.
And you made a difference to a lot of kids.
Yeah, a lot of kids. I still get letters, and yeah, it was wonderful.
What was your favorite thing about teaching?
My favorite are the letters I get now where I see parents. I got one, your mom read it. It's a beautiful letter from a boy I used to teach. And then I got one from another boy and his parents for Christmas. I went to Costco. I saw a couple of parents, their kids are in college, and one's going to be a doctor. And you hear all these wonderful things these kids have done with their lives. And they started out at 6 years old, they couldn't read. I like being an influence in their lives, really.
How did you meet Poppy, and how old were you guys?
I was 22, right?
It's closer to, I think it was 23.
We were dancing, we were at a dance, and he came up behind me and said, "Would you like to dance?" And I turned around and I said yes, and that was it. And then when he proposed to me, it was in a park. We were walking in a park by my mother and father's house, and he asked me to marry him. Aren't we lucky?
Where was the dance?
Quiet Village
It's a disco
A
called Quiet
discotheque.
Village.
in Levittown.
What did you like to do with him when you were dating?
Dance. We love to dance. We like to walk around.
We went to a couple of plays in New York City.
Yep. Mm. We had a good time.
What was your first apartment with Poppy like, and what was your first house like, and where
Well,
was it?
The first apartment was, lived on the 4th floor, right?
Yeah, a 1-bedroom
One
apartment.
bedroom. It was a big bedroom, a big living room, the tiniest kitchen you ever saw.
Yeah, they call it a galley
A
kitchen.
galley kitchen. It was really tiny.
Yeah.
And I really liked cooking because Poppy would work. He was going to college, get on the train and go to NYU. He would come back and go to work in Penny selling shoes. So he would do that, and I would clean the apartment, and I would cook. And I would cook 2 meals, big meals, and then we had it for the week when I was working. We have leftovers and things like that. So we had a good time back then.
It was a good apartment for us.
Yeah. And the new house was really tiny. your mom was born, and it was a real tiny little house. And that was on Long Island, and
We were really happy when we bought that house.
yes.
When we bought the house, there was no furniture in it. So Grandma and I stopped at McDonald's. We picked up a couple Happy Meals, I guess. And we brought it to the house we had just bought. And we sat on our floor. And that was our first meal.
And we were so happy.
Yep.
We didn't think we'd have a house, because Poppy was in school and I was just starting to teach and everything.
But we wanted a house because your mother was about to be born, and we wanted her out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we moved to New Jersey, and I had to stay with the children, so they were staying with me in Long Island while Poppy was over looking for a house for us in New Jersey, and that's the one you've spent time in. We bought the house on Pancake Hollow, and I couldn't believe it. I just loved that house. Really, it was good because it was right next to the high school, so we could see all the games and we could hear the music from the high school band, and I loved that house.
And it was a great house to grow up, and a great town for your mother and uncles to grow up in.
Who are your children?
Uh-oh, you want to know that? Well, your mom is my oldest, and she was very active, very, very smart as a child.
9 months you climbed out of the crib.
9 months you climbed out of the crib. You were 4 years old when you started reading. That's amazing. And then we had Uncle Patrick, and he was very quiet. He was very quiet. He just liked to eat and sleep. And he was a good little boy. And Poppy thought I was gonna have another girl. He was really mad. He got a boy.
Grandma was rooting against me.
Yeah. I wanted your mom to have a sister. But the thing was, then we had Patrick, and Uncle Pete came along in a snowstorm, and it's snowing right now as we're doing this. But it was a snowstorm, and Poppy had to go home and take care of Uncle Pat and your mom. And then we had Uncle Tom. He came along. He was the fourth. So every 2 years we had a child.
What do you like about being a grandmother?
Oh, I love
I think it's the grandchildren.
I think so. I love when you were born. Oh my gosh, you were so cute, all of you. I just like when you're all together, the 9 of you are together, how happy you are to be together. And I think that's great. I mean, I was always happy to be with my cousins.
Who are your closest friends, and what do you love about them?
Well, I don't have a lot of friends, but I have really good friends. They love me and I love them, and they would do anything for me, and I would do the same for them. 2 of the women I taught with over 50 years ago, and we never had a bad word. We have differences of opinion, but we just care about one another.
And they still vacation together now.
Yeah, we call ourselves the 3 amigos. And then what else happened?
Well, then we have close friends
In New Jersey,
yeah.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
they're so good to us, and we all care about one another. That's the main thing,
What advice do you have for us that you want us to remember when we're grown-ups?
Oh gosh, I know. I want you all to be successful like your parents. I never thought in my wildest dreams that my 4 kids would do so much with their lives, and
Much more than we had ever envisioned for ourselves. But I think we would like you guys to be happy, kind to each other, caring for each other, and be successful and happy in your work and your relationships.
and always treat your family with a lot of respect, and do the best you can, because you can have such wonderful lives, really.
And always be happy. You can work hard at being mad at things, or you can just be happy.
Yeah.
It takes less bones in your mouth to smile than to frown.
Takes
That's
less
right.
bones? I don't know.
Absolutely. And smile, because I really do think that helps you in life. And always remember your parents love you and want the best for you. You just do that and you'll be fine. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Helen. Good job. Good job. Thanks for going easy on me, Zane. Good questions. Good questions, Zane.
I love you.